You can't have your cake and eat it too, and you can't have economic prosperity or cultural vitality without the worldview that inspired it. For the Colson Center, I'm John Stonestreet. This is Breakpoint. Last week, the government of Hong Kong finally withdrew a proposed extradition law that sparked mass protests and that have rocked the territory and has rattled Beijing for weeks. However, if Hong Kong's chief executive Carrie thought that withdrawing the extradition law would end the protest, she was mistaken. Over the weekend, demonstrators continued to rally, to march, and to wave the U.S. flag while chanting, "Resist Beijing, Liberate Hong Kong," and, get this one, "Pray for us, U.S., pray for us." Their chant highlights not only a Christian dimension in their protest, but the potential impact they think Christianity could have on the Communist Party's dictatorial rule, both in Hong Kong and throughout China. While the protests were initially sparked by the extradition law, it's clear that deep dissatisfaction with life under Beijing is keeping the flames burning, especially as the Communist Party attempts to strengthen its grip over Hong Kong. One protester told the Los Angeles Times, "The whole system in Hong Kong is rotten from top to bottom. We want to tear it down and start fresh." Well, in the midst of all this, Communist Party leaders know what many of the commentators and so-called experts in the West have long forgotten: that the ideas about justice and freedom that motivate many of the protesters in Hong Kong are rooted in Christianity. How can we be so sure that communist leaders know this? Because of a 2011 study by the state-run Chinese Academy of Social Sciences. As one Academy member put it, we were asked to look into what accounted for the success, in fact, the preeminence of the West all over the world. After researchers studied everything from, quote, a historical, political, economic, and cultural perspective, they realized that the heart of the West culture is its religion, Christianity. The Christian moral foundation of social and cultural life was what made possible the emergence of capitalism and the successful transition to democratic politics. Well, that's quite a conclusion, to which an official of the Academy added, "And we don't have any doubt about this." Chuck Colson pointed out 8 years ago that the connection between Christianity and the success of the West has created a conundrum for Beijing. As he put it back then, Communist Party officials know that the industriousness and creativity of the West was born out of the Christian worldview, which sees every individual created in the image of God, desiring freedom, creative in nature, motivated by civic duty, and love of neighbor. At the same time, China's actions in Hong Kong and mainland China reveal that the Communist Party sees all religions, and Christianity in particular, as dangerous rivals. If Jesus is Lord, Xi Jinping is not. As Chuck Colson also said, if Beijing truly opened its doors to Christianity and unleashed the creative and spiritual potential of its people, the result would be even greater prosperity and growing global and economic clout. But that prosperity and clout would come at great cost to the power of the communist dictatorship. The crackdown across mainland China and the attempts to control Hong Kong suggest that the Chinese government wants what it cannot have: to enjoy Western creativity and economic vitality while simultaneously suppressing Christianity, the historical source of Western creativity and vitality. And just as Beijing can't have it both ways, here's a note for all Western leaders: neither can we. As the people of Hong Kong sing their hymns and chant their slogans, they've made clear they're not willing to trade their freedoms and loyalties, especially their religious freedoms and religious loyalties, for what Xi and company are offering. And before I leave you today, I want to tell you that we have a free webinar Wednesday, September 18th, with none other than Os Guinness about his new book, Carpe Diem Redeemed. Come to breakpoint.org to register. That's breakpoint.org. You won't want to miss it. For Breakpoint, I'm John Stonestreet.